What's up, everyone? Hope you all are doing well. I finished the build on the new Xray. There is some stuff to say about it. I didn't run it yet. The race from last weekend got cancelled. It was pouring rain all weekend. So, and upcoming weekend there is a race in Belgium which I want to attend, but where the forecast is looking really terrible again. So if it's pouring rain all day, I'm not going. So I still need to do a test on the new Xray. It is gonna be in this vid, so stay tuned. First, let's take a look. Yeah, I really like that you can change the height of the diffs. That's one of the reasons I bought the new kit. But I did see several reports on social media about cracking bulkheads, so that's not good. It's a new design bulkhead, and what I've seen about it is that where these screws are in the bulkhead, there's not a lot of flesh on the bulkhead, so it cracks, and the B block is moving backwards, so that's not good. Xray is working on a solution for it, so they probably will come up with redesigned bulkheads. What I did, I made a carbon fiber plate on the chassis. It's against the B block, so it can't move backwards, so hopefully it will hold up. I did the same in the back. I made a little carbon fiber plate on top of my chassis stiffener. I also made that from carbon fiber. It's still here. I don't know if you can see it on the other side. Yeah, you can see in between. So it does make the chassis a bit stiffer, and since I'm running mostly on high grip tracks, I need a stiff platform. Made carbon fiber inserts, 3mm carbon fiber on the chassis brace. I did make a carbon fiber tank guard as well. What I also noticed, since they changed the bulkheads are higher, so the steering post and the servo saver is higher as well. And what I did notice was when you have your upper arms in the initial setting, it's in the lowest setting. Mine are in the center. I never run in the lowest position. It's in the center or more up. But when your arms are all the way down, like the initial setting, and you run a droop of 106, because of the higher steering post, this post here will hit the arm, and in my setup now it's clearing the upper arms at maximum steering angle, and also at the servo saver. But when you have your upper arms down and run high droop, it will hit the upper arm, and it's not a real issue, because when your car is on the ground and you're driving, the arms are like this, so it won't be a problem. But when your car is up in the air, your droop is fully out, and you correct the car, it can hit here and it will lift the upper arm a bit, and yeah, I think that is not the way it should be. So little point of criticism there. Other than that, it came together really nice. Things are really tight. For instance, the caps on the other side of the pivot ball are much tighter than on the 21 model. So that's really good. I really like that they changed this to 4mm instead of 3mm. On my 21 model I had some breakage on the shock pivot, and the reason for that is in a race this nut came loose and this started jiggling and it weared out the hole. Still got it here. So, and when the hole has weared out, you're breaking a lot of shock pivots. So that's the reason why I changed the shock tower at one point. So I'm definitely making sure these are always very tight. So now with the 4mm, it's a bit better, really good. I did use the original option part, the carbon fiber top plate. I do want to make a 3mm carbon fiber top plate, just like I did on the 21 model. So still need to do that. I did use the original carbon fiber rear shock tower. My intention was to use the aluminium one, because I never had an issue on this shock tower, and I've seen 2 breakages on the carbon shock tower, and if it's one thing I don't want is breakage. I did originally build it with the shock tower from the 21 model. It does fit after you modify it a bit to clear the bulkhead. The reason why I took it off is it sits 1.5mm higher than the original shock tower, and since I'm limited my droop in the shock body, if I switch my shocks around from my older platform to the new one, my droop changes. So I did install the carbon fiber shock tower, and that way it is exactly the same. So that's really good. Yeah, I'm running 303L in here with the Hypex 2108. So yeah, I'm gonna take this thing to the track and we'll see how it holds up. I also did rebuild the 21 model. I replaced a lot of stuff. I replaced the front uprights and the pivot balls. The older ones were pretty worn, so it needed replacement. I changed the bearings. I replaced the axles, because the other axles were pretty worn out. These holes were burned out. I do change it sometimes to the other holes, but this is also worn out, so there was some play right here. And if you look at the pin, focus, it's pretty worn out as well, so replaced all the drive shafts. What I do from time to time to minimize wear, I change it from right to left, and I also change my outer drive cups from time to time, so the wear occurs on the other side. It will make it last a bit longer, so I actually do that with all my diffs and with my center diff as well. Switch them around, on the rear diff, switch them around, so it will definitely last a bit longer. I replaced the bumper and the A block, because this one was pretty torn up. What else? Yeah, I did make chassis stiffeners, carbon fiber, 3mm carbon fiber inserts for the rear chassis brace. Yeah, replace the side guards. What else? The chassis. Installed a brand new chassis, some screws. So my older chassis has some wear on the bottom, and that was not the real issue. My main issue was in here. When you run the original droop screws, you get some holes in the chassis where the droop screw smack in the chassis. I had welded it once, so it was all smoothed out again, and after that I was using droop screws with a head. But yeah, when you weld it, it's not as hard as the chassis itself. So look at this. That looks pretty terrible. So I replaced the chassis, and that's also the reason why I now limited my droop in the shock body. There are some rings in here, and I have 3 sets of shocks, the one on here, the one on the new kit, and the set over here, all in a different droop setting, so that will make that my droop is always exactly on point, and my chassis doesn't wear, so really good. I installed the new tank. I'm running the 501 in here with the FX pipe. I have a wet setup on my 21 model, and I got a dry setup on the 23 model. The only thing I need to do is take out the radio tray with the upper side of the center diff, and then place it in here, set my transmitter to my wet setup, and I'm good to go. So that's really good. Good thing that the radio tray is the same, so it fits. Can switch it around. So yeah, we're gonna go and take this thing to the track and see how it holds up. do some testing, especially some attention for the bulkheads. Really hope they hold up, and I do hope that Xray is coming with renewed bulkheads, because when a bulkhead is breaking, that's not what I'm used to from Xray. So yeah, guys, we're gonna run this thing, so let's go to the track.
Hallå boiler.
Ik ook. Alright guys, back in the workshop. Burned 2.5 liters nitro fuel, so pretty good test. It's about just over half a gallon, almost 3/4 of a gallon, somewhere in between. So yeah, it went pretty good. I did scrub in a new set of mini pins. You have too much grip with new tires, so that's the reason why I modify these tires. Later that day I threw on some older ones and I was faster with these. So the problem with new ones is you get a lot of traction roll, so you're constantly on two wheels. But yeah, great test. Yeah, I need to clean it. So far I can't see any breakage on the bulkhead or any other parts. But I think we're gonna remove the front clip and check it out. Gonna put you guys over here. Yeah, look at this chassis. So the chassis is baptized now. A lot of rubber on it. So let's get the front clip off. Alright, so it looks absolutely perfectly fine, so that's good. No cracks. So yeah, I seen the cracks and they were a bit like this. But yeah, it held up, so really good. And I did have some terrible crashes, so I think my carbon fiber plate against the B block worked really well. I do see, I don't know if you can see that, maybe with a light. Yeah, the servo saver and the steering post have hit the arm. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there are some scrapes on the upper arm. and it is from the servo saver. And the other side, the same, as you can see. So when my arms aren't even in the lowest position, so it does hit the upper arm. And yeah, that's not the way it's supposed to be, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of that. And I also notice on the Ackerman plate it hit something, because there are some scratches on there. So, and I did shim out the servo saver and the steering post a bit up, and it just clears the axle, but it did scrape a bit. So I think if you run more droop or run your arms in the lower position, this could be a problem. So what I'm thinking now is to get some older arms and Dremel it a bit so it won't hit, because that is just not how it should be, in my opinion. But the bulkheads are fine, and overall the test went really good. Like I said, burned 2.5 liters of nitro fuel, and yeah, I'm very satisfied with this platform, the way it ran. So really good, guys, really good. So yeah, I think that's it for today, guys, and I will see you guys next time.